everyone, and welcome to the historical segment of the Chef's Table series. My name is Carol O'Connor, co-host. I am here with Kerry Byrne. Let me tell you about Kerry Byrne. Kerry Byrne and I love history, and we both attended and graduated from Boston College. He was just a year
ahead of you, I believe.
A year ahead of me.
I look like I was 10 years ahead of you, but only 1 year. Yeah.
So we're exploring different parts of Quincy today, and our first one, I'm going to ask Kerry to explain and give us a little bit of history of this beautiful building.
Well, right now we're in the middle of the United First Parish Church, otherwise known as the Church of the Presidents. The reason why it's known is that it's the only building in America that houses the remains of two presidents, John Adams, John Quincy Adams, as well as two First Ladies, Abigail and Louisa Catherine Adams. Abigail being specifically remembered as one of the great patriots in American history, and also one of the great feminists in American history who really stood up for women's rights far before it was popular to do so. And this country would not exist without Abigail Adams, so people at Quincy are very proud of that association with her. And again, the two presidents and the two First Ladies buried here in the Church of the Presidents, right off the Red Line, by the way. We're a step from Quincy Center T, 15 minutes from South Station, so we're right here. This national treasure is very accessible by public transportation. And as you can see, it's a very beautiful facility, dates from 1828. John Adams passed away in 1826, famously on July 4th, 1826, the same day as Thomas Jefferson, 50 years to the day after they signed the Declaration of Independence. And it's hard to imagine. It's one of those moments like there's got to be something up there for that to happen, for the two architects of the Declaration of Independence to die 50 years to the day after signing it. But when John Adams died, he willed the money to have this church built. Now, there's been an active congregation here for 377 years, since 1639, one of the oldest church congregations in America. This building itself, though, dates from 1828, funded, like I said, with John Adams' money. And this, in fact, right here
is
the Adams pew, and this is where the Adams family sat. Now, John Adams, obviously this church was built after his death. John Adams himself never sat here, but John Quincy Adams did sit here while he was a president of the United States of America, as did future generations of the Adams family. And it's really a masterpiece of when we see the facade, a masterpiece of Greek Revival architecture, one of the most, and designed by Alexander Paris, by the way. So when we see the front and the four stone granite columns, it looks a lot like another very prominent building in Boston, Quincy Market. The reason being, Alexander Paris designed both the Church of the Presidents here in Quincy, as well as Quincy Market in downtown Boston.
So much knowledge and history.
Yeah, and John Quincy Adams, like I said, sat here as president, among other things, is widely considered by scholars to be the smartest president of all time, perhaps the only genius to serve as president. Spoke 10 languages, could translate Latin into German, and just had an incredible gift for languages. But among those gifts was was probably him and Abraham Lincoln, the most gifted writers among the presidents. John Quincy Adams, a beautiful, beautiful writer. In fact, over here are the words that John Quincy Adams wrote about his mom, John and Abigail Adams, perhaps some of the most powerful words in American history, written right here on the wall over here,
We'll
Carol.
go check it out. Okay.
Well, as I said, Carol, John Quincy Adams, probably the most gifted writer, him and Abraham Lincoln, among all the presidents, and among all his great works, the tribute he wrote to his mother and father here on the walls of the Church of the Presidents. And remember I said earlier that John Adams died on the 4th of July, 1826? I was wrong. He didn't die. He didn't. John Adams did not die. Instead, on the 4th of July, 1826, written by his son, he was summoned to the independence of immortality and to the judgment of his God, which I think is just such powerful language. This house will bear witness to his piety, this town, his birthplace, to his munificence, history to his patriotism, posterity to the depth and compass of his mind. Remember, John Adams was a great intellectual among all the founding fathers. I mean, he's the man who crafted here in Quincy constitutional government as we know it. And I just think these are just such beautiful words, that he did not die, summoned to the independence of immortality and to the judgment of his God. He had equally beautiful words, John Quincy Adams did, about the very powerful relationship between his mother and father, who, without John and Abigail Adams, this country would not exist. I mean, it was their patriotism and their devotion to the cause of revolution that kept this country together many times. And this is how John Quincy Adams described it. During a union of more than half a century, Carol, they survived in harmony of sentiment, principle, and affection, the tempest of civil commotion, meeting undaunted and surmounting the terrors and trials of that revolution, which secured the freedom of their country, improved the condition of their times, and this is the most powerful part, and brightened the prospects of futurity to the race of man upon earth. These were very significant people. They not only helped create the country, they made the world a better place.
Yeah.
They brightened the prospects of futurity to the race of man upon earth. And think about that. At the time of the American Revolution, representative government did not exist on this planet. This couple helped create it.
Yeah.
And because of them, because of their effort, the world is a better place. People now grow up in the expectation that they can have representative government, which people did not expect 250 years ago. And I just think these are just such powerful, beautiful words, a loving tribute from this gifted writer of a son to this probably perhaps the most important couple in American history.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And when it's read out loud, it's more impactful than someone just coming reading it.
And again, they're buried right here.
Exactly, which we're going to check out.
So.
Oh, Kerry, thanks for sharing this with us.
Yeah, no, thank you. I just found those words actually give me goosebumps.
Yes,
Carol.
I know you were telling me that. My historical friend, love it. Okay, everyone, so this has been the historical segment.